So, Atari buys up over 100 groundbreaking and award-winning games from the 80s and 90s and say many will be re-released. Has the OG still got the game? No, it hasn't got the game. It's got the old games, ones that I probably like. Something strange has been going on at Atari in recent years. Under CEO Wade Rosen, who has held the position since April 2021, Atari has overseen some good reimaginings of its old titles, culminating in a 50-year anniversary game, smooshing elements together with the company's history. That was pretty great. Atari Atari has announced via the press that it's acquiring more than 100 PC and console titles from the 80s and 90s. I was going to say 60s then. The games seem to be mostly back catalogue from three publishers: Accolade, Infogrames, Microprose, including amongst those games are Bubsy the Bobcat. I remember Bubsy. Sorry, Bubsy, you weren't very good. Hardball, Demolition Racer, and the 1942 Pacific Air War. Oh, and F-17, F-117A, F-14 Air Combat Series. I remember the Air Combat Series. I had great fun. There was the Raptor one where you get to drop a nuke. It was so cool. Following the acquisition, Atari is going to re-release certain ones of these titles. That's terrible English, and I'm terrible reading. But some of these titles sell merch, and more importantly, create new games based off of IP. Not a bad strategy for Atari. I'll be honest with you. That is, if you can't afford to create new ones, then work on the old ones. Use the Unreal Engine, because as we saw earlier with Unrecord, you can get some pretty good things out of that. And it would be good. And Microprose were the original publishers of XCOM, weren't they? Yeah. And they did a flight sim one too, if I remember correctly. But yes.
Not B-17, was it?
Oh, Berserk.
Yes. Acquisition of the classic game Berserk. Night Dive Studios is the other part too. This is interesting. This sounds like a strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this does sound like a strategy. As I said, if you're not up for releasing AAA games, why not release A or B games? Because what I would,
there's a market for it.
Yeah, there is. It is. It's just a case. If you look at all the indie devs, and they're filling that B and A market there.
Yeah.
You don't have to go AAA, but if you can get those B market, because that's when you had because the diversity of games is kind of shrunk, because everyone wants a AAA game. Everybody wants a live service. Everybody wants some kind of battle royale. Everybody wants this. Everybody wants to fill in those little games. Like, I bought Star Trek Armada recently.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I've got Star Trek Armada, and I've got to figure out how to make it run. And that's why I'm screaming about virtual machines earlier. To make it run, because I want to play that. Because I've watched the latest Star Trek, and one of the best Star Trek games I enjoyed was Star Trek Armada. And we need to have that B market. It's a weird to call it a B market, but indies have filled it well. This is where Activision and those publishers came from.
Yes.
It's weird how they had this big wide base of games, and then the more they went up, the more value, the least amount of least.
It did, because EA was Electronic Arts. Yeah, EA was Electronic Arts. Activision came from the Atari days, the 2600 days. If I really hope that this is a strategy, because if there's Atari is, for me and for many, it's an iconic symbol for gaming. Atari is, and if anybody could compete with Microsoft and Sony and Nintendo, if they played the cards right, it'll be Atari. Bring it back.
Not to compete with them, is to fill the gaps where they're missing.
Yeah. Well, Nintendo don't bother competing, do they?
No, they don't.
They do their own thing.
Yeah,
they do
and it works. It works. People want games they can play, not spend 60, 70 quid on a game that's broken, and then you got to wait for a patch to come out for it.
But somehow the in-game microtransaction shop is working perfectly.
Fully tested that.
Focus on the game.
Yeah.
One thing with Microprose, I remember now. I've been looking into it. Sid Meier's Railroad Tycoon and Civilization.
Yes.
I think Civilization moved up to someone else, though.
And Pirates.
Probably
Pirates as well, didn't they?
There was
Sid Meier's
Pirates.
Pirates.
Probably Pirates as well,
Yeah.
if it's Sid Meier's. But yeah. They did Fields of Glory, Formula One Grand Prix. I enjoyed that because I had that on the Amiga. Harrier Jump Jet, Knights of the Sky. Out of those companies that they're buying, actually, I think they're all linked. Those companies. There's probably an overall owner, and they're buying them. So by proxy, they get the others that they own. So yeah, and I was mostly playing Microprose games back in the day on my Amiga.
Yeah, big manuals.
Yeah, nice boxes, good manuals.
Oh, get a manual. Pointless. Get a manual like that.
You knew you had a game when you had a manual as thick
How
as
to
the
fly
box.
an F-14, and you're just there going.
And it was literally they lifted the manual from the F-14. They literally went, "Oh, let's just take out the bits that the agencies won't be too happy. The letter agencies will be too happy with." And then there you go. Civilization. We were talking about that popped up with Sid Meier's Civilization. That was the last one was done by Firaxis Games, who did my favorite XCOM stuff and 2K. So I'm wondering if the license is expired on that.
Well,
interesting if it is the case, because that's an opportunity for them to make some money. That was 2014, so that's probably next year. That probably might cycle out. I don't know what the time is. Maybe it's 25 years.
I'm not sure.
What's interesting though is Atari have got Ant Stream. They advertise that Ant Stream, which is the streaming of the games. So
yes, we looked at that.
I don't know how they're going to get round like doubling up there. So they've got to be careful.
Hey, look, it may be a case of they patch them to work on modern hardware. They let people play them. You can stream it rather than own it. If you want to just pay for a subscription, you can own it, get it through Steam or maybe Atari, or develop their own platform. They use that money then to throw into a new game, and then develop us a new game that doesn't cost an arm and a leg to make, but is good. If that makes any sense. That's my picture. That's what I'm picturing, Babster. That's what I want. That's what I'm hoping.